So what happens when a country's entire political system just breaks? When the government collapses, protests are everywhere, who steps in to pick up the pieces? Well, today we are diving into the incredible story of Sushila Karki and how a nation on the brink of chaos turned not to a politician, but to a judge for its salvation.
All right, let's set the scene. We're in Nepal, it's September 2025, and the country is caught in this massive political storm. It's been brewing for a long time, and things are about to get really, really intense. And then it happens. First, these huge, youth-led anti-corruption protests just explode across the country. The government's reaction? They banned social media, which of course just poured gasoline on the fire. The public anger hit a boiling point, and Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli was forced to resign. Just like that, there's a massive power vacuum at the very top.
So you have to imagine, this was the question on everyone's mind. The country is in total turmoil. The politicians are divided. Nobody trusts the establishment. Who do you even turn to? They needed someone who could rise above all the noise and command respect from everyone.
And the answer they came up with? It was something nobody saw coming. They didn't pick another politician. No, they looked to a completely different place, the justice system. They selected former Chief Justice Sushila Karki to step in as the new interim prime minister.
Okay, but wait, how does a judge end up as the leader of a country? It sounds like something out of a movie. To really get why she was the one they called, we've got to rewind and look at the career that made her who she is.
Sushila Karki's journey didn't start in some political dynasty. It started with books and the law. She gets her degrees, starts her career as a lawyer in '79. But here's where it gets really interesting. Look at 1990. She was arrested for her activism in the People's Movement. This tells you everything. Right from the start, this wasn't just a job for her. She was willing to risk her own freedom to fight for democracy.
So that experience, being an activist and a lawyer, really shaped her entire philosophy as she moved into the judicial system itself. And that's where she was about to make some serious history. In July of 2016, she did just that. She smashed one of the highest glass ceilings in the country and became the first woman ever to be appointed Chief Justice of Nepal's Supreme Court. This was a huge deal, a signal that things were starting to change. But here's the thing. She wasn't just a symbol. Her entire time as Chief Justice was built on two core ideas: an absolute zero-tolerance policy on corruption and a fierce defense of the court's independence. She quickly got a reputation for being, completely fearless. And you just knew it wouldn't be long before those principles got seriously tested. As Chief Justice, she wasn't just talking the talk. She went right up against some of the most powerful people in Nepal.
Over and over again, her decisions sent shockwaves through the political world. She just refused to bend to political pressure on major appointments and other big cases. For her, the law was the law, period.
And this all exploded in 2017. Karki overruled the government on a major appointment for the chief of police. The establishment's response? They hit back hard. They filed an impeachment motion against her, basically trying to fire the sitting chief justice for doing her job. It even led to her being temporarily suspended.
But this is a classic case of a political move backfiring, big time. The impeachment attempt completely failed, and trying to get rid of her only made her more popular. She came out of it with this reputation as maybe the one person in public service who absolutely could not be corrupted.
So, let's fast forward back to 2025. The country's in chaos, and who does everyone remember? They remember the Chief Justice who couldn't be bought, couldn't be bullied. Her history, her reputation, that's exactly why she was tapped for this massive new role.
So, what exactly is an interim prime minister? Let's break it down. Her job isn't to be a permanent ruler. It's very specific and temporary. She's there to be a steady hand on the wheel, to guide the country through this rocky patch until they can hold new, legitimate elections.
So why her? Just look at this list. She's politically independent, no party ties. She has that rock-solid anti-corruption reputation. Everyone respects her for defending the rule of law. In a country that was completely falling apart, she was maybe the only person everyone could agree on. A true unifying figure.
And by taking this job, believe it or not, she makes history all over again. She was already the first woman to lead the country's highest court. Now, Sushila Karki becomes the first woman to lead its government. What a trailblazer.
So now, here she is. She has the top job with the weight of an entire nation's future on her shoulders.
Her mission is crystal clear, but the road ahead is going to be incredibly difficult.
Her to-do list basically boils down to 3 huge things. First, and most important, calm things down and bring back some stability. Second, lead the temporary government to keep the country running. And third, the ultimate goal, make sure there are free and fair elections in March 2026.
And all of this leads to the one big, fascinating question. The exact things that made her an amazing judge, being impartial, sticking to the rules no matter what, are now being tested in the messy, gray world of politics. Can the woman who became famous for judging the system from the outside now actually run it from the inside? The entire world is watching to see what happens next.